Hi everybody, Desmo here. In today's video I would like to speak about how to level a character to play the build Forbiden Rite of Soul Sacrifice. This is going to be the new meta build and I believe many people are going to be willing to level this build, but the thing is you cannot level this character with this skill. So what are you going to level with? Well, this is the normal tech to level this character. This is going to be using fire skills with the witch. This is usually what we are going to use, and we are going for the Occultist Ascendancy, and all the way up to level probably 84 I believe, we are going to use the Firecaster setup. Currently level 66. Before going any further, I'm going to show you quickly a showcase of how the character looks after campaign. I'm gonna go for a quick Blood Aqueduct, and then I'm gonna show you a map just to give you an idea of how it feels, and also to prove that it's not only a leveling tech, it's also gonna work for early game. I don't know how far we are going to be able to push it, but just to show you how it looks like. So you just basically gain Soul Eater with the new tech, and once you have Soul Eater, you're just zooming through the entire layouts like that. I'm not even like my Lightning Warp is dealing pretty much no damage, and still I'm killing everything, as you can see. There's like on the magic and rare packs, I need to cast my skill. I'm using Armageddon Brand, but mostly just with the Lightning Warp we are killing everything. So this is for the showcase in Blood Aqueduct. I'm gonna show you a map quickly just to prove that it's gonna work in the early end game. I got my 3 first lap done. I don't have the last one, of course, but we are going to speak about every step of the progression for the character after I'm done with the map. So for the atlas that I'm using, this one right here, this is the one that I was using in my first video of the league for the farming strategy. This is going to be really good because since we have the mines and the shrines, that's going to help us to be even faster if we need to. Also some free power, more DPS with the shrines sometimes, and with the mines. As you can see, we are exploding everything like that. Let's put it into the shrine. So why not the Legion? Everything is gonna explode. Very full. Easy peasy. It's a very, very comfortable setup, very fun to play. Let's go to the end of the map. Pick up anything here. There's so much cast speed, sometimes it's even a bit difficult to control. Go at the end of the map. Pick up this. And there's the boss room. There we go. And that was the map showcase. Very, very comfortable setup. Now I'm gonna go over the progression of the character. I'm just gonna speak quickly before that, even though probably most of you already saw the video from Sung, Pulsron, or Dreamcore about this mechanic, or maybe you read about it online on Reddit or whatever. Just to go over the mechanic, we have this new ring that drops from the end game, which makes it that when a curse expires on an enemy, we are getting some souls from Soul Eater, and so we are using the setup with Bladeful, the new Trathas gem, with Hextouch, less duration, and Temporal Chain to make sure that the curse are expiring on enemies. We are every time, like with the new gem, the Bladeful, you just activate it. You have the buffs over here, and you don't need to do anything. Now I'm not pressing any button, and you can see the blades are falling. So we are going to curse enemies on a regular basis, and then we are reducing the duration of the curse as much as possible. Also with the tree, even though my tree is not finished, but we have some reduce duration on the tree to make sure that the curse is going to expire fast, and then we are going to get the buffs really fast. As you've seen in the map, just going over one packs of mobs and the buffs already really high. So this is the concept. We also have a Swift Affliction to reduce even more the duration of the curse, and then we have Lightning Warp for two reasons. The first is that it's going to benefit from the setup to cast really fast. Without any buffs, you see it's like decently fast already, and then once we have SotA, it's even faster. But also when you Lightning Warp is hitting on the beginning of the cast right here. So if I start the cast here, it hits 2 times over here and over here. So you're going to apply the curse also with Lightning Warp, which is going to help getting even more stacks of SotA. So now how to level the character and which item you should use and which skills. I'm gonna go over everything. For the kind of expensive items, I'm gonna share different options. Don't mind the 7 league step. If you don't have the money for it, I'm gonna offer different options for every piece of gear. So I'm just gonna start with the tree. I'm gonna use Path of Building to show you the progression. But I think it's gonna be clearer like that. So we start with the witch on the left side here. You take the spell damage. You take some life. You take some fire damage. This is going to bring us to level 11, so this is going to be at the end of Act 1, just before Merveil. If you're struggling with attribute for any piece of gears, you can take the attribute over here. On top of that, it's going to give you some elemental resistance, so this is pretty good. After that, beginning of Act 2, we're going to go over there, pick the life, and go to the fire cluster over here. This one is extremely good because we have this mastery, which makes us gain 100 increased damage against enemy that are ignite. Then after that, we want to go toward Elemental Overload. This one is going to remove the extra damage from crit, but make us deal 40% more damage with skills that we crit with. So this is a lot of damage as well. You just want to make sure not to use Controlled Destruction because this is going to remove almost remove your ability to crit. This is 80% less critical strike chance. It's not going to be enough to trigger consistently Elemental Overload. So don't use that. So this is going to be level 25. This is the middle of Act 3. After that, once we move to Act 4, we're going to get a second fire cluster over there. And then we're going to start picking up some life over here, going down there, and get some elemental damage here. 50% increased elemental damage is really nice. So this is going to bring us to level 40. From there, we should be at the beginning of Act 5. Here we can take a little bit of cast speed here, and then we want to start moving toward Eldritch Battery. The reason for that is at level 38, this is when we get the Hextouch support. And this is when we can start using the setup with the ring. Before that, we would be completely leveling like a normal fire damage caster. But since we have the new tech, you are completely fine using the normal setup. You can ignore this setup if you want, but this is boring and this is really fun to actually use the new tech for leveling. And this is how you're gonna be able to zoom as I shown in the map showcase before. So from level 38, this is where we are going to be able to do that. So if you want, you can skip this and do it at level 38, probably going directly to Eldritch Battery. I think that might be a bit difficult, a bit tricky to put it together at that level. So if you don't want to force yourself to use it at the earliest level, you can do it a bit later, like I was showing around level 45 probably. Go to Eldritch Battery, and for your first ascendancy, I didn't speak about that in when you do lab around level 33 about. The first thing that you want to get is Vile Bastion. The only reason for that is that you are going to get 100 energy shell per second, and this is going to help you sustain your mana pool, because with the new setup, with Bladefall going on all the time, and the 6 link for Lightning Warp, I mean the 5 link basically for Lightning Warp and Bladefall, this is going to consume a lot of mana. I don't know if you see here, just by casting my Armor Brand, my mana is going down pretty quickly. You're not supposed to cast Armor Brand that much, but this is mana consuming quite a lot. So if you don't have that, you're not gonna have a good time. You're gonna be low mana all the time. You're gonna have to spam your mana flask. By the way, I have a mana flask here. I absolutely don't need that anymore. It's just I had it while leveling and I forgot to remove it. So this is really not something that we need. But on top of that, in Act 3, you can grab Discipline is a lot of energy shield. Without Discipline, you can see I have 122 energy shield, and this is gonna work, but this is not gonna be amazing for leveling if you have low energy shield. I did it for a while without Discipline, and this is a game changer. Discipline is giving you not only energy shield but also recharge rate. So this is gonna feel so much better with Discipline. If there's any aura that you need to use with this setup, anything else is pretty much not necessary. But Purity of Element helps with the resistances, so Purity of Element is good to have, especially after Kitava. Before that, you should be fine with only Gold Rim, but Discipline is the top one here. Then you can use Purity of Element, and if you have enough reservation, you can add something like Herald of Thunder or anything like that, any damage aura that you want. It's really not necessary, but it can be nice to have. So this is when you can swap to the Hextouch setup with Bladefall, and from there you don't really need anything per se, but you can keep upgrading the build a little bit. You can get the Leech Mastery here. Leech is instant, so with that you're gonna Leech Energy Shield, so it's gonna help you sustain even more your mana pool. You can get also the Rune Binder. If you want to get that before the swap, you can definitely get that, because with your Armor Brand, for bosses, when you can have 2 brand attached to the boss, this is a lot more damage, so this one is for just 2 points is really good, especially at the end of Act 5 when you're fighting Innocents. That can be useful here. So if you want to grab these 2 before the Hextouch setup, this is definitely fine. After that, just for the sake of respeccing less point in the end, I'm passing that way, but you can go on that side. This is more efficient. I did it the other way, but you can grab this over there. You can get some spell damage if you want. Me, I did it the other way. I went down here because at the end we are going to go there and grab some point for block and so on for the endgame setup. But for efficiency, you should do it that way. If you want to respec less, you can go that way if you want. This is up to you. Also, when you swap to the Hextouch setup, you want to grab this one. This is going to reduce the duration of your curse. Also, you will want to grab these 2 points because we need the strength and the dexterity. That's going to be an issue from the moment that we swap the setup. Definitely grab these 2. And if you want to push it even a bit more, you have some cast speed that you can grab over there. Also, in the end game, we are going to use that. And that's pretty much it for what we are going to do for leveling with the tree. After that, once you're done with all this, the points that you are going to use, you can start to put them into the nodes that we are going to use for the endgame setup, for the real setup for Hextouch, when we remove the fire nodes and so on. So probably going over the clusters, going down there for the power charge, grabbing this one as well, going for the block setup and so on. But for the leveling part, this is pretty much it. And just to finish with the tree, for the other Ascendancy node, after Val Bastion, what I would recommend is to get the Explosion. This is feeling really nice while leveling, or even for clearing maps. And then this one is doing nothing for us while leveling, so except for the life regeneration. So this one we take last. This one is going to be, it's not going to do much while leveling, honestly, but this is what we take at the end. The most important part is to take the regen here, and then the explosion. This is gonna feel really nice. Then let's have a word about the items that we use for leveling. For the first act, for the first 6th level, we don't have much, but you can use some random rings or random stuff for the very first levels. This ring is going to give you some resistance and mana on kill. This one some life, why not? There's not so much we can do for the very first level, but once we get to level 6, we can get this one. This is going to give us some flat and fire damage. This is already good. And then from level 12, you want to buy 2 of these. These 2 are extremely cheap. If you don't care about the rolls, they are 1 chaos items. You can get slightly better rolls if you want. Like this one, the flat fire damage is all that matters. If you want to have perfect roll, this is like 5 chaos, but even like, doesn't matter too much. This is 1 C item, and this is going to carry you up to like probably a white or yellow maps. Beyond that, I did stick with that because I wanted to make like a proof of concept. From level 50, 60, you can probably find cheap ones online, rare ones that are much better than that. I just wanted to show that you need pretty much nothing to make this setup work. For the items that we can use also early on, we can use the Nocturnal Caress. This is going to give us some cast speed. The other glove that I've used after this one, because this one is reducing your mana pool and this is not feeling so good, so this one I didn't keep them for too long, but on level 31 I did swap to this just for the purpose of getting Rampage. And once I hit level 50-ish, I don't remember exactly what it is, it's level 57, I swap to these. The reason is that we don't get much energy shell on these and they just give Rampage. This one has a bit better energy shell pool, this is 60. And also we are getting immunity to physical damage for 1.5 seconds on Rampage. This is not something that is happening so often. This is sometimes, but this is a little bit on top. And we are also getting a bit of strength. It's also giving us some strength and mana regen, so this is definitely good. The remove elemental ailment on Rampage doesn't matter because we are using Purity of Element, which already makes us immune to ailments. The belt is really good, this one. Lots of flat damage. This is extremely good for leveling. It's a bit more expensive than some items on the build. This is like 8 to 9 chaos usually. So if you cannot afford this one, it's really not an issue. There is an alternative to that. It's not gonna help for damage, but one that I like on low budget for leveling is this one, Thunderous Blazon, because it gives us some resistance, but also and mostly lots of attributes. So this is fixing the attributes for the entire campaign. Usually you don't have any attribute issues anymore. Definitely good for the build. For the amulet, the replica carry ward is good, mostly for the movement speed, but this is also a bit of attributes and damage. It's 10 chaos. If you don't want to go for that one, you can definitely go for the non-replica version, which is much cheaper. 1 chaos, it's absolutely fine. You lose a little bit of damage with armor brand, but you gain a bit of damage with cremation. If you don't want to use cremation, it's okay. I'm gonna go back to the skill setup after that, but yeah, definitely carry ward, really good. 10 movement speed is really nice, so this is something that you can use. For the boots, 7 link step, absolutely the best in slot, but the price is like from 35, 30 chaos to 40, 45, it depends on the day. If you can afford that, definitely go for it. If you cannot, there's the 1C boot that is definitely fine for leveling. The Wanderlust, 3 chaos item, you get some movement speed, freeze immunity before we can have Purity of Element. This one you can use from level 1, so definitely fine as well, and some dexterity. Not much, but that can help, since we are so starved in dexterity, and there's lots of dexterity items, gems that we are using. About the rings, of course we want to use the coiling because this is what we use with the setup. But for leveling, when we reach level 20, there's this ring that we can use. This one, the Berserk's Grip, is nice because it gives us some Leech as life and Leech as energy shield. We are not very likely to leech energy shield because we don't have too much cold damage. We have a bit on the belt, so this is not likely to happen too often. But for the lightning damage, we have a bit more, and on level 16, we start using Herald of Thunder. And this is going to give us quite better odds to shocking enemy, and this is going to leech life, so this is a good option. I like this one a lot. Once we swap to Coiling Whisper. While leveling at level 20, I was using both Correct Respite and this one, the both of them. This one is a bit more expensive, so you don't have to use this one. If I can show you, yeah, it's like 5 to 8 chaos. There's 3 versions of the ring. There's this one as well with cold damage to spell if you want. This is fine. If you want to have the combo with these two to make sure that to have better chance to freeze enemies and to leech energy shield and life in combo with the belt, this is definitely fine. You can use 2 of the same version if you want as well. This one is giving us cold damage and increased fire damage, so flat cold and increased fire, so this is fine. This one is giving us leech and flat life. There's upside for every one of them. This is up to you. I did choose to mix this one and this one, but definitely pick what you want. It's gonna be fine anyway with the ones, as I said. These ones are gonna carry, and this is lots of damage, so nothing else really matter too much. For the body armor, of course, you want to have Tabula Rasa. It's about 10 chaos depending on the day. Today it's Saturday, this is the weekend, there's lots of people online. Lots of people rerolling and buying items. This is why it's 14 chaos. Probably on Monday it's going to be 10. Not big difference, but yeah, this is making our life easy for getting the setup for the Hextouch, so definitely do that. And the last piece of gear, the helm, I think I didn't speak about it, but gold rim, of course, elemental resistance. If you have the money, buy perfect roll. It's going to be a bit more expensive, 20 chaos. If you don't, it's totally fine. 3 chaos is going to be more than enough for the campaign. Especially with Purity of Element and Gold Rim. Until we kill Kitava, you're going to be res capped with just the 2 of them. So this is absolutely fine. And just for the last part of the video, I'm going to go over the entire gem setup. So the main skill that we are using is going to be Armageddon Brand, Combustion, Ulti, and Ignite Proliferation. That's for the end game, but before that, for Act 1, 2, 3, we are going to be using Rolling Magma. Rolling Magma is going to be linked to Combustion and Elemental Proliferation. For the second setup, during leveling, you are going to have Flame Wall, and if you want a Flame Totem, Flame Wall, you can link it with Arcane Surge if you want. This is not mandatory, but you can do it if you want. In Act 2, you can also get Wave of Conviction, so you can have like Flame Wall, Wave of Conviction, and Arcane Surge. I'm gonna make a POB, so it will be linked in the description, so you will be able to browse through everything, but I'm just gonna recap here quickly, and it's gonna be better in the POB, so you can use that. So Cremation, again, this is not a mandatory setup. If you want to make your life easier, you can just go with Armor Brand. It's gonna be enough damage. I just like it because it's a lot more damage for boss. It makes the leveling a bit faster. So Cremation with Elemental Focus, Volley, and Greater Multiple Projectile. Also, we have a cast when damage taken linked to Immortal Call. Here 0.3, I'm just leveling it. You don't need to pay attention to that. We don't have the reservation yet for using it, so this is a side. Also, we can probably have 0.3 in the end game with the Mercenaries, so I'm not sure if we ever gonna use this one, but just in case, this is why it's there. And Desecrate for bosses. Again, Desecrate, you can skip it if you're not using Cremation. This is up to you. Absolutely fine if you don't want to use that. For the auras, we have Purity of Element, Discipline, and Enlighten. I just have it here. You absolutely don't need it. If you check my mana without Enlighten, it's just the same. The only thing that we need to cast our abilities, this is the Energy Shield, and this is more than enough with Discipline to cast anything. So Enlighten, I'm just leveling this up for later. And we also have Herald of Thunder over there. A little bit of extra damage. This is pretty much meaningless, but I have the reservation. If you want to go for a more defensive setup, which is going to be more useful, you can go for Arctic Armor. You can go for Skitterbot also. Probably it's better than Herald of Thunder. I didn't pay too much attention to that because the build is just good enough as it is. But just for give you some other options. So that's for the auras, the defensive setup, and just to show you one more time, Bladefall, Temple Chain, Hextouch, Lightning Warp, less duration, and Swift Affliction for the 6 link on your body armor. Another thing before I end the video is that the body armor, once you finish the campaign, you want to try to buy something with the right colors. Corrupted, it's gonna be really easy to get a good body armor. It's gonna double almost your your life, your energy shield pool, and it's gonna feel really good until you can fully swap to the end game setup. So I got this one for 5 chaos. You can definitely get something similar. The build is feeling amazing. This is a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to finish to level the character and to get to the proper setup. I already have the gears ready here. I just wanted to do the video to help you guys to level the character, because there's some people who are going to be wondering what is best, and I think definitely going for the fire setup is best, and this is a lot of fun being able to use the setup while using the regular fire leveling setup. So that is pretty much it, I believe. I hope I didn't forget anything. If you have any question, you can leave a comment. Please like, share, and subscribe, and until my next video, take care of yourself, and bye.
Last night I had a dream, dropped the mirror on stream. Oh my god, what's so clean? Best thing I've ever seen. Drop a mirror, drop a mirror, drop a mirror. Drop a mirror, drop a mirror, drop a mirror.